So we are going to start talking about simple and compound sentences as well as how to punctuate a compound sentence, okay? So the first thing I want you to notice is the difference between a simple sentence and a compound sentence. A simple sentence is a subject, a predicate, and a complete thought, right? The auroral lights are a natural wonder. It's a complete thought. It's about one thing, the auroral lights and how they are a natural wonder. Just one thing, right? One subject, one predicate. A compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses. So an independent clause is like a sentence, okay? And they are usually connected by a coordinating conjunction. Sometimes a semicolon can be used instead of a coordinating conjunction. Now, when you have a coordinating conjunction, a comma will come before it, okay? So we're going to show that. So again, an independent clause, it's a subject and a verb or a predicate, can stand on its own. So it's just one sentence. So here are two examples of compound sentences. Marta will be here soon, comma, and then we'll leave. So you'll see that there are two independent clauses. The first one saying that Marta will be here soon, right? Here's our subject. Here's our predicate, will be, okay? Then we have a comma and coordinating conjunction. The word and is a coordinating conjunction. Then the second clause is then we'll leave. Okay? So again, it talks about we as the subject, will leave is a predicate. That's it. Will leave is a sentence, right? So Marta will be here soon, independent clause, comma, and then we'll leave. The second example shows the semicolon. Tom is going to drive, semicolon, he has the biggest car. Now a semicolon can only be used when the first independent clause is related to the second independent clause. So for example, here we're talking about Tom driving. That's why we can use this semicolon because we're talking about his car. Like you're taking his car because it's the biggest car and he's going to drive it. So they're connected, right? So you could say semicolon, he has the biggest car. For example, if you said Tom is going to drive, but Marta has the biggest car, those would be unrelated because we're talking about Tom driving and Marta's car, right? So you couldn't use a semicolon if the sentences or the independent clauses were not related. So let's look at our examples here. Identify whether the sentence is simple or compound. That's all we're doing here. Remember, just because it's long does not mean that it is compound. It has to have two independent clauses and either a semicolon or a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Ancient people saw the lights but did not know their cause. So number one here, we see that this is a simple sentence, right? It's just about the ancient people seeing the lights. Okay. Even though this word but is in here, okay, did not know their cause is not an independent clause. It cannot stand alone. So it's just saying that people saw the lights but didn't know where they came from. Like that's just one sentence. Okay. Number two, to some Asians, auroral lights were dragons in the sky, but to Scandinavians, they were reflections off God's armor. Okay, so if we look at this sentence, this is a weird punctuation. Okay, so ignore this. Okay, so if we look at this sentence here, to some Asians, auroral lights were dragons in the sky. First of all, I see this comma and the word but. So I see a comma and coordinating conjunction. But if I did miss those, I would notice that to some Asians, auroral lights were dragons in the sky. That's one independent clause. That can be alone by itself as a sentence. Okay? To Scandinavians, they were reflections off God's armor. Now here again, we're talking about Scandinavians and what the lights meant to them. By itself, they can say Scandinavians thought, right? Scandinavians thought they were reflections off God's armor. That could stand alone as its own as well. So here we see that this is a compound sentence. Let me just identify, I forgot my fault. This is simple. Here we see that this one is compound because, again, here is one independent clause, here is a coordinating conjunction with the comma, and then here is the second independent clause. Righty? All right, so we're going to move on. You're going to complete 3, 4, 5, 6 on your own, deciding if it's simple or compound. Now let's look at the punctuation of compound sentences, okay? Compound sentence, like we said before, has two independent clauses that are joined by a coordinating conjunction. Now here's a coordinating conjunction: and, but, or, nor, or yet. Okay, those are all coordinating conjunctions. The clauses are usually separated by a comma placed before the conjunction, the coordinating conjunction, okay? However, as we said before, a semicolon can sometimes be used between independent clauses instead of a coordinating conjunction, but only when the two independent clauses are related. If the clauses are short and closely related, this comma or semicolon may be omitted or not included. So we have 3 examples. Here we go. The Grand Canyon is not the deepest canyon in the world, comma, but, coordinating conjunction, it is one of the most famous. So here again we see a compound sentence using the comma and coordinating conjunction. Example 2. The Grand Canyon is famous for its colorful walls, semicolon. They make it one of the most beautiful canyons in the world. Again, these two independent clauses are closely related, meaning that I can use a semicolon. I also do not see a coordinating conjunction in here, again telling me I should use the semicolon, okay? And lastly, the river flowed and the canyon slowly formed. Now these are 2 sentences. The river flowed, canyon slowly formed. However, because they're short and they're related, right, because this happened to cause an effect, there does not need to be a comma, but you see that there still is a coordinating conjunction, right? So each 3 of these examples matches these 3 punctuations in a row. And again, let's look at your practice. Rewrite the compound sentences to add the correct punctuation. Now, some of these can be done in a couple of different ways. Okay, so let's look at this. The Grand Canyon is now located in the desert, yet water erosion was the cause of its formation. So here, I notice that the word yet is in this sentence. Because I see the word yet, and I know that based on the last slide, it is a coordinating conjunction, I'm going to add a comma before the coordinating conjunction, and now my punctuation is complete because I've added that comma in there. Okay, let's look at number 4. The Grand Canyon is still changing. It continues to be eroded by rain and windstorms. Okay, so remember, number 1 we said comma, coordinating conjunction, because this coordinating conjunction was included. When I look at number 4, the Grand Canyon is still changing. That right there is an independent clause. It could be by itself. It continues to be eroded by rain and windstorms. That's a second independent clause. But I notice that there is no coordinating conjunction in this sentence, right? If I go back, it is not a coordinating conjunction. So here it's telling me that I need to add a semicolon because there is no coordinated conjunction, a coordinated conjunction in this sentence to begin with. So for example, right, you see this coordinating conjunction up here, there's no coordinating conjunction. When the sentence is like this, it does get a little tricky. Okay, so be sure that you're finding the 2 independent clauses. You know it's an independent clause if there is a subject, Grand Canyon, and a predicate, is. It also is an independent clause because you can put a period at the end of it and it still makes sense. So it continues to be eroded by rain and windstorms. That by itself makes sense. Same with the Grand Canyon is changing, okay? So be sure you read through them carefully, and if you have questions, send me a comment on Classroom, and I will be more than happy to help you.